Okay, so we're just working on a series of ugly monsters here. Okay, so we're working on our little pen sketch creature right here. And now the only, oh my goodness sakes. Now we're kind of doing a little crossover here related to the eyebrow going up above the cap there. We've got some little wild hairs here of the eyebrow coming out just like that. Um, uh, Okay, so we've kind of got to work on this eyebrow. Okay, I'm going to draw the shape of it first up here like this. So I'm going to kind of curve it, take the hairs up like this. I'm going to really emphasize them up here so they hopefully they will stand out a little bit more up in this direction than the hat. Like that. Kind of feathery looking. Sort of feather. If you're good at feathers, you can get this. Yeah, there we go. We get it standing out there. Yeah, that evil looking type of oh, that's really good. That is really, really good there. Okay, and so, okay, so we've got kind of the chin. We've got sort of a hairy, it's kind of a branch twist looking neck there, like that. And the mouth is kind of a thin, we'll just enhance it like that. There's sort of a odd looking, kind of a mustache, a wifty, wavy, sort of a light mustache right here, like this. Okay, so we're going to emphasize this eyebrow a little bit like this. Okay, now, okay, I'm still missing something. We need to get a little bit more facial definition in here in this monster here. Okay, so we've got, oh goodness, kind of a pointy ear. I do have a little bit of glue here on my paper from stuck there, but we're going to take the ear down like this. There. Okay, so we've got the ear there. Now the hat comes on around like that. Okay, perfect. We got that part going there. Okay, so we're going to take this little thing here and we're going to do a little curvy right there, like this, and we're just drawing wild hairs. The more you wild it up, however direction you want the hairs going, the better it looks. Okay, so we are going to be just wrinkles. A wrinkly chin is what we're focusing on right there. Could be a little bit, a few wild hairs, wrinkly chin right there. It could be a woman too. I mean, actually, technically, could be a woman or a man. It works for both, don't you think? I think it works for both. Absolutely. The image I'm looking at here, literally, it looks like both. Now, I kind of ran out of room here for where I want the direction of my hat to go, so I'm going to kind of take this little line. I wanted it to be a little bit longer, so I'm just going to, you know, wisp it around like this, like that, because I'm working on a smaller piece of paper. So this is what, cardstock actually. So this is what kind of makes it for me challenging and fun. Is working on a smaller piece of paper like this. Okay, so we've got this little part right there. That looks pretty good right there. I like this. I like this a lot, actually. I like this image. Okay. So let's do another one. I'm not sure what one I want to work on. Let me look here and see which creature I want to work on next. I think this is work. I'm just going to let this one sit here until I find another creature to work on. I think maybe on down the road, I am going to color some of them in eventually. Maybe not right now. Okay, let me see what I can find here. Okay. I'm just seeing a little part here that I kind of need to put in right here. There. That kind of ties it in better. Yeah, that does a lot better. That is a lot better. I just knew that there was something there that was sort of missing, and this just ties it in a whole lot better. Like that. Okay. Oh, let's do this guy. Let's do this little guy. This one looks like fun. Let's do this little guy. Yeah, I'm not sure what this is. I mean, I can see us going with a lot of directions with this little guy we're working on next. Um, so I don't have a way to actually change, but he is an ugly monster creature, though, that's for sure. Um, and so I have several of them, and they're small. They're small cardstock images that I'm working on. I'm putting my own spin on them, and just having fun here doing a little bit of drawing. So we're going to start off here. We're going to make kind of a well, let's start off with the eyes. We're going to start off with the eyes right here. This one shouldn't take too long, I don't think. This one should be nice, quick, and easy. So we're going to draw circle 1. We're going to put the eyes together. We're going to draw circle 2. 2 eyes together here, just like this. We're going to draw circles in the center here like this. We're going to draw another circle here in the center just like this. Now what we want to achieve, our goal right now, is simply taking and making sort of a avocado shape. Yes, an avocado shape is kind of what we're looking for right here. Like this, and we're taking it down like this, sort of an avocado walnut shape. And so right now what we want to draw is an arm that's kind of coming down like this, a long arm like that, and then, well, hello, I have a comment. My goodness sakes, I have a comment. I'm so excited. Hello, LIVP7F41. I'm so excited. I have one comment. Oh my goodness. What are you up to today? Do you like drawing? Okay, so I'm going to continue. Heart. Thank you. Thank you for the heart. Thank you. Thank you. I'm glad you love my drawing. I have fun making the drawings because, you know, I'm going to share a little bit of YouTube history right now. Let's look at this one while we do it. Okay, this one I just call it Ugly Monster. It can be a man or a woman, whatever we want it to be. And I'm going to share with you the YouTube history. So at the beginning, around 2007, 2008, there were people who were drawing celebrities because of the fact they would get a lot of views. And I thought, wait a minute, we don't have to do that. We can apply monster or witch. This would work as a witch too later on. So if you're someone who likes to reuse your content, or you like to do AI content, you can reuse it again in the future. So you can call this a monster, you can call it ugly, you can call it creature. So you can apply this and you don't have to use celebrities. So that was a common denominator that I was noticing. So you just started getting into drawing. Okay. And this is why the word monster works so well. The word monster is really, really good. And beast. This could be an ugly beast, an ugly witch, an ugly... you can call it stupid too. So instead of calling names to other people, call your drawings... You can title your drawings stupid. You know, or if you have a story to tell, you can call it a stupid story. You know, because this is how the internet works related to our search engine optimization. And so, so I thought, well, I'm going to apply that same theory that they were applying to celebrities to drawings. And I don't know how I would apply it to yarn yet, because I have a harder time. Yarn takes a lot longer than drawings do. And so people like instant gratification. I know that much, and I know I do too. If I'm guilty of something, I'm guilty of instant gratification related to doing something, and that's why I would break the monotony of crochet when I was doing my crochet works. I would break it up with doing another project because they take so long. They take so long to do, and that's why it was kind of challenging teaching, you know, with the videos, because I was putting a lot of work, my heart and soul into making the videos, and then I started dropping out of the algorithm, which then in turn told me, it's like, well, this is kind of rigged and it's unfair for how it's being done. And so I would have to pivot to another vertical to do something else. And that's kind of what I'm doing right now. And that's how I'm showing. I think Mr. Beast of, I don't know who he's part of, but Mr. Beast has sort of shown that because he has like a bazillion followers and he utilizes the word beast. So this little creature we can literally call a beast if we wanted to use the word beast. The Secret Service refers to our United States president as a beast. So, so I'm just sharing these little tips and tricks of popular things. You can take something you see in a store, like peanut. If you wanted to name it a monster peanut or something like that, or a beast peanut, you could use any of those wordings and terminologies to name your drawings and your crochet projects too, your yarn and arts. I have seen some really fun names for yarn nowadays, now that they're going outside of the monopoly of the traditional stores. I have seen them take on some kind of fun names and things like that related to yarn. Now, I'm not sure how to fit that in. I've thought about it, and, I just have a hard time. It's like if I can't earn money doing it, then basically I'm working for free. Kind of like what I'm doing right now, but I am doing some of it for fun because of the fact I started off doing YouTube just for fun. And, so there are aspects of that element that it would be great to try to bring it back, but I don't know that it makes it hard after you've already been paid to do something and you know how it should work and then it doesn't work. Then it sort of feels like it becomes an obstruction of, well, someone else decided they didn't want me to have a living to be able to take care of myself, and then they're obstructing me from earning revenue. And that's one of the problems that I see with the wide swing economy of Wall Street that we've been talking about. And I've made this analogy. There was a guy on TikTok who didn't want to listen. I can't stand him, and I kind of think I have an idea of what he represents, and it's not something I'm interested in. But he keeps popping up all the time. And so what I had said is I compare Wall Street going outside of the United States to make a profit to the migrants coming inside of the United States to make a profit in the same way, or the United States making a larger country inside of our own country, bringing migrants into the United States to work for Wall Street. It's the same analogy of comparing the same thing. And they were doing that with the travel and tourism, related to the cruise ships, the cruise industry. And so they wanted to pay people less money on the cruise ships, people from foreign countries less money. They said they had some entertainment that was American citizens on the cruise ships who got paid more money. But it's the same premise. It's the same premise as, well, the intent of Wall Street is to make money for their shareholders. That's why Wall Street is always failing, because Wall Street does not function like the United States government with money in, money out. These individuals and entities and even foreign countries who purchase things through Wall Street, through the United States, then in turn want to make a profit. Well, then in turn, somehow then, I guess, doesn't that mean that a foreign country could literally be buying parts of the United States indirectly? I always said that indirectly because it's through shares. That doesn't mean they literally own something. They could. They could own something in the United States. I mean, so if they could own an asset that's no longer any good. That's what I'm thinking, of owning some property. If someone took some HUD housing that was junk and they put it on Wall Street, and then someone from a foreign country decided they wanted to invest in that without ever looking at it, they end up owning a junky piece of property is what they end up owning. You'll be right back. You're cooking breakfast. I dropped that link about the guy getting paid 80K a year. Oh, good. I'm glad you posted that because I want to see what that is. I mean, is there a way to apply for a job? I know you said you're gone, but is there a way to apply for a job to get the money doing that? There are companies that pay people to stand out in the streets. You can look it up on Google. These companies also pay people to fill up stadiums for TV events. Oh, I have heard of that. What Big Homie is talking about, I have heard of that before. I just don't know where to find them, and it must. Oh, they called them seat fillers, didn't they? Yeah, I mean, what they're I believe them. I mean, absolutely, I believe them. Um, Oh, what Big Homie, another thing Big Homie's talking about is I remember watching a Hollywood event one time, and they were showing on YouTube where when one of the celebrities would get up to go use the restroom, they would have a seat filler come in, and it was someone who was sitting in the spot where those celebrities were sitting at, just so all the seats were filled up. And so they had like seat fillers, and they called that a job. It's like, my goodness, it's like they're paying these people. That's a gig economy job, probably. But see, I didn't know that related. Well, now, Big Homie, I'm going to color this while I talk about this. Just reminded me of something when I was a young person. And when I was in band in high school, this would be related to college, and our band was invited to attend, I think they called it a band competition at they called it band day or something like that at one of the big universities. They had a huge university, so we were all invited. A whole bunch of us from the region in high school were invited to go to the university. And they just had a whole bunch of bands that were playing. I believe we played pregame. We had pregame before the game started, so there was a whole bunch of us. And that was all we did. We didn't play at halftime or anything like that. We were just entertainment, apparently. I wouldn't have thought about that back then because they called it a competition. And we were always had marching band for competition. And so anyway, we were invited in advance. I don't know if they still did that after we did. This was way back in the 1980s. And I don't know if they still do the marching band ratings for competitions or not, because usually what the competitions meant, our band teacher was always telling us that if we got a certain rating, that we could be invited to go to Washington, D.C. to play at the Cherry Blossom Festival. I don't remember if my band ever got that or not. But, you know, it was just something that was, I think it was just something trying to create engagement for band, something other than sports. Now, most of the time people were actually interested in band and going to watching the band. But now, if you wanted to watch your student, you know, for example, if my parents wanted to watch me, they had to pay to get into the game. And, you know, it's not the first time people have said that, you know, if you want to watch your child and participate in band, well, you had to pay for the football to get in to watch them, which kind of seems unfair. You know, because, you know, most people would rather watch the band because the band actually has a real performance, you know. So we were literally learning different, what would I call it, mechanical parts of formations, where we were making designs. We were making kind of like grid designs on the field, and we would turn into characters and things like that. And, you know, granted, they do a lot more elaborate nowadays than what we did back then, but we were still doing something. It is exercise. Band is absolutely exercise. I don't care what anyone says. I would rather be in band. In fact, band is exercise where your kid is having fun learning a musical instrument they are marching and exercising at the same time. So you can't tell me that a child can't walk and chew gum at the same time. When you have high school kids who are able to march and play a musical instrument and read their musical notes on their arm at the same time, yeah, they're smarter than their low IQ parents. I'll guarantee you that. The ones who are trashing them now for what they're doing on the internet. I mean, I don't see it any other way. So, and plus, then the kids are working for free, basically being on TV, because television back then was showing this band stuff on TV where the high school kids are working for free for entertainment, and they're making a lot of money doing it, and the kids don't get anything. I mean, yeah, the kids get a free ride. I know for us, we had to get up. What time was it? It was really, really early, like 4 in the morning, I think. So we didn't even get to spend the night. We didn't get to stay in a hotel or spend the night. We just went. We got up at 4 o'clock in the morning. We rode the bus for 4 hours to the stadium. Then we were there. I think we got there like maybe 8. They said we had to be there by 8, 9 o'clock in the morning, something like that. So did we even get food? I don't remember if we stopped at McDonald's, or usually it was a possible stop, or we took a sack lunch, because I remember this was a time more of my mom packing me a sack lunch to take with me, and I think that's what we did. So we weren't of the generation which it is now, where they stop at McDonald's and they have these buses, huge buses of band kids stopping at McDonald's now and packing up the whole thing for sports and things like that. That's something I kind of remember going down the interstate, when I was a little bit older and had my own kids. I would always kind of make a joke and say, gosh, I don't want to go where that bus goes, because they're going to be stopping off at some restaurant, and we're not going to be able to, oh, I know when this was in my time when I was a military spouse and we were PCSing, because PCS time would typically come around, it would come around band competition time, sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes. And so you just see these huge buses, or when we were traveling in the summertime too, if he had a little time off. And I said, don't pull into the restaurant where they're going, because we'll be there waiting for a long, long time. We started hearing about that, where the bands and the colleges were stopping off. And oh my gosh, March Madness. That's what we're coming up on, is March Madness. So big, yeah, that's a funny looking character. Yes, it is. Absolutely, it is a funny looking character. Yeah, that's another good word. That's a great word. I mean, we could say he's a funny, cute character. Is he funny and cute at the same time, too, maybe? Funny, cute. He could be ugly. He's got a sneer. I mean, maybe we should write these words down a little bit so we kind of remember. Okay, we'll write down funny, Funny, cute, Sneer. Is that how we spell it, sneer? I'm not sure. Or Snear, sneer. Ugly, monster. He's also an oval, Oval, oval. Hairy. Oh my gosh, hairy, Hair, hairy. What other word in our word salad can we come up with for this monster? Hairy, beast. He does look like a nut. I'll tell you that right now. Doesn't he look like a hairy walnut? Like a walnut? A nut. He does look like a nut. So there's a big word salad right there of words that we could apply to this creature. Is he grumpy? He might be grumpy. Let's add grumpy in. Grumpy. What other words can we add in there? Oh, the way his fists are balled up. He's stressed. Stressed. He could be angry. I think he's angr. He's angry. See, he looks a little bit angry the way his little fists are balled up right there. Doesn't he look a little bit angry? Okay, let's add some more hair to his hands and get him all crazy right here. So all of these words apply to this creature. So if you want to hashtag things, take every one of these words, and there's going to be more. Use your thesaurus. The thesaurus is really good. So if you want to apply something funny, look in the thesaurus and find more words. I always use the thesaurus. Let's write that down. Thesaurus. Now, if we want to make up a word, okay, the last part of thesaurus is saurus, which is similar to, what is it, dinosaur? Saur, dinosaur. So we can create a acutus, Cutasaurus. So acutasaurus is what we could call it, a creature. Cutasaurus, acutasaurus. So this is how I figure out my new words that I make up myself. And how about this word? Let's use ugly. Uglasaurus. And so we're including a dinosaur and a thesaurus. The two of these, this is this combination. Dino, dino, S-A-U-R. And so we can have a cutasaurus and an uglosaurus. An uglosaurus. So we could really create, we have a whole new dictionary of words that we can create. We can make them up ourselves. We don't have to use the traditional words that other people use. We can just make up our own, related to our drawings, related to our crochet work, related to brands and things we want to brand ourselves. And so now the thing I'll say is, if you decide to spend the $5,000 to brand something, then this means that you don't want the people who support you using the word. So for example, if I was to brand the word Uglasaurus, Uglasaurus, this would mean I would have to be wealthy enough, which I'm not. No, I'm not wealthy at all. But I would have to be able to hire an intellectual property attorney who would in turn then follow everything on the internet that comes up with Uglasaurus, which is a branded franchise trademark, just on digital, to take everything down. And it's like, well, gosh, I don't want to do that, because I don't want to, I want this to be something everybody can utilize. So if we're going to do a Uglasaurus or a Cutasaurus, which right now, just by me doing it first, I sort of supersede someone else who decides, oh, I'm going to take this word in Uglasaurus and I'm going to trademark it. So what the trademark attorney does then is goes and looks on the internet to see if anybody else is using it. And so there's a possibility. And so then right now, with this in digital, the trademark attorney may or may not, they may not even be able to find it, because right now, just me talking about it, it may not show up in search engine optimization. So then there would be a conflict between me, who made this, and the person who branded it after I used this word. Now, this was the problem that we were having at the beginning of YouTube, when I had people from Australia telling me, oh, you can't use that crochet pattern because we are part of a book company and we used it in Australia. And so they were wanting me to take my videos down because I made a crochet stitch that I was using before they were born. And it's like, oh, this is completely ridiculous, what they're doing with the branding and everything, because it's not something that's ever going to work. And so it needs to be done with community engagement instead of attacking the people who support your website. And they've been attacking the people who support their websites that's what Disney's doing. They're imploding upon themselves. So all of these, for example, Sony Music, when they want to control their music and they don't want anybody utilizing their music, they're actually attacking the people who supported them for decades, which is those of us who are baby boomers and Generation X, and maybe some of the silent generation, I don't know, the millennials, and everybody else who has been utilizing music. Now they're attacking and imploding upon it, and it's like, okay, we'll find something else to do. Let's create community engagement in another way. How about we create another saurus of some sort? Let's do a Herasaurus. Harasaurus. I just had another idea. If we're going to do another type of saurus of some sort, how about a F-I-R, F-I-R-S-A-U-R-U-S. So we do a Phyrosaurus, like fire, a fire truck. A Phyrosaurus. So we'll do like this and create a little fire right there. A Phyrosaurus. So we can create like a fire dragon of some sort. And it just kind of goes more into the imaginary realm of avoiding bubbling up type trends and things like that. And I mean, I could go on with this all day. Let's do one more. If I was going to do oval, I would do O-V, whoops, O-V, ov, and ova. I would do ova or O-V-L-A, and then S-A-U-R-U-S. So this is just simply my formula is taking letters from another word and creating a new word. So ovosaurus or ovlasaurus, which L-A, ovla, ovla. That sounds like a foreign word, ovla, ovlasaurus. Those are both fun words right there. So I gave myself some new ideas of new creatures to create within the search engine optimization. And so that's how I create new unique words. Now they're probably not going to show up very much unless it shows up under the saurus part. So we have thesaurus and dinosaur. And then, I don't know, can I put this part? Saurus, S-O-R, saur-ass. I don't know. Can we say that? Saurus, a dinosaur-ass. I had to get that out there. I know the kids will love this, so. Anyway, let's keep drawing, though. I mean, so I've got some good ideas here on my napkin for names of my little beasts here that I'm creating. And so I can literally take any word, but I like the saurus part, the dinosaur, the saurus, or the this one is bound to become very, very popular, which means it's going to get X'd and censored. It's probably going to get a this, maybe. I'm not sure. But Dinosaurus, Saurass, a dinosaur-ass. A Godosaurus? But, the ones who love goddess. Let's do this. G-O-D-D, Goda, S-O-R-E-A. We have to do this. A Saurass, a Godosaurus. Let's put the dollar signs through here so that we make it not as bad, but there's your Godosaurus right there. So it should work. The Godosaurus. And we got sore ass in there. S-O-R-E-A-S-S. The Godosaurus. So kind of like ass bastard. I say that all the time. A lot of them are being a bunch of ass bastards. What was it I was saying yesterday on TikTok? And it's like, oh gosh, that's where the word ass bastard came from. Because they are literally being a bunch of ass bastards. Okay, so we're done with this little guy for right now. Let's find another one to do. Let's let him sit right there until we find another ugly creature to draw. He actually falls under ugly creatures right now where I'm looking at. How about, oh my gosh, this one is, let's do this one. This one's going to be cute. I think, yeah, this one will be cute. Cute and funny at the same time, this next one. Okay, so I'm working on a tiny, I have limited room, so I have to kind of, how long is this? So here's a pen, and so there's a pen to give you an idea. So my paper is only maybe 5 inches long at the most. If that's 5 inches, maybe 6, I'm not sure. I don't have anything specifically. Okay, but I'm going to start off with 2 eyes up here, maybe about this size. There's eyeball 1, and we're going to do another eyeball, number 2, right there, like that. Okay, so I'm going to draw a couple of the pupil right there. Not a student, but a pupil. And our teachers, it was so funny. I think when we were kids, that was something I always remembered. You know, we were called pupils, as in a student was another word for a pupil, and then we had pupils in our eyes, which I always thought was kind of funny. I literally did think of that when I was a kid, about the pupils in our eyes, and it's like, well, I'm a student in an eye? Can you put an eye in your student? Can you put your student in your eyeball? Well, literally, you can. When you're looking at a person, you can literally put your student inside of your eyeball. And so these are the things I was thinking about when I was in school. I wasn't thinking about wanting, I was doing the things that were kind of fun. Those were the things that kind of made sense. And why they stick in my brain to this day, they just do. Because that's what I was thinking about was, well, how in the world is it that I am a pupil? We have a pupil in our eyeball. The teacher is talking to us, we're students, but I didn't have enough thought process to think, well, wait a minute. When the teacher is literally looking at me, then I am a pupil. I'm a student in her eyeball. She's looking at me because I'm inside of her eyeball. So that's how I would rationalize it. I just wasn't able to voice it. I would have probably, I hate to say it, gotten backhanded maybe. If I would have said that to, I don't know if I would have or not. I would have been told, well, you know better. That's not what they mean. That big barking voice from parental authority. You know better. That's not what they mean. But those are the things I wanted to say when I was a kid. I really did. I wanted to say that. But it would have been the thing of, well, you know better. You know that's not what they mean. It's like, well, wait a minute. It is too, because we have 2 meanings. A pupil in our eyeball and a pupil as a student, right? Okay, let's start with this one. They're spelled the same way too. Pupil. Pup is in pupil, pup. But as it's I and student. Both they're both spelled the same way. I can't even spell. Student, S-T-U-D, student. That's a Freudian slip with my pen if I ever saw one. Student. We don't have an E in there. Let's cross this out. S-T-U-D-E-N-T. Why do I have an A in there now? That's an N. S-T-U-D-E-N-T. But okay, let's just leave it because it looks like a fun word. I created something fun, and now I don't even know what I mean that I wrote down. Student. S-T-U-D-E. Study. S-T-U-D-E-N-T. That's an N, but it looks like an A now. But let's go back to pupil. Pup is in pupil. Isn't that interesting? Pill is in pupil. P-I-L. Pile. Pill. Pupil. With I, we get P-I-L-E, which is a blur word. It blurs over into P-I-L-E. Student, study, S-T-U-D-E-N-T. Student. So, okay, so let's get back to drawing our drawing before we get too distracted. Which I already have gotten too distracted. Okay, so we'll go over here, and we're going to keep drawing teeth inside of our little creature here. Okay, so I'm going to draw a tiny tooth right there, and then a little bit larger tooth right there. And a tiny tooth right there. Okay, so we've got that little part done. Now we're going to put some, how much room do I have? Some little hairs up here. Okay, so we've got, so I might have more room here for these, because I know I like to color in the, mouth so it's dark, but I've had a problem though with the teeth sort of disappearing though, and that sort of becomes a problem. Let me see if I can do this lightly like this, and you were sitting over there wanting me to go over and pick you up and put you up there, you little stinker, when you can jump up there yourself. Okay, so I'm just going to kind of color it in like this. I hope it works. I'm thinking it should work. It's going to look quite a bit better because I have larger teeth. And I always found out it does look better. It works out better with larger, you know, like this one down here that's tiny, it might disappear. I need to emphasize it a little bit more on the edges, kind of like this one. Emphasize, make it stand out a little bit more like this. Okay, and so now I'm going to kind of cross hatch a little bit and go in the opposite direction. I'm just scribbling is all I'm doing, coloring in the mouth, but I still want the teeth to stand out. I don't want them to just disappear in my scribble, and sometimes that happens. And that's not actually what I want to happen. But this one looks like it's going to work out. Oh my goodness, that works out really good. So we can still see the teeth here. Now I could make them really, really dark. I could make it really, really dark and make the teeth stand out a lot more. Maybe I could do that. Let's see if I can. Darken it up a little bit like this. Okay, yeah, that works out really good. Okay. So I have a tiny little mouth right here, tiny little lip of some sort that goes up here like this. Now, what I need to do is I want to work on these little parts here first. I'm not sure how I'm going to do these because they're really, really tiny. I've got two. This one is kind of fascinating and interesting. I've got two parts here. So right here in the, okay, how am I going to do this? Let's try and make it easy as possible. Okay, so I'm going to do 1, 2, 3 like that. We got a hand there. And so let's do over 1, 2, 3. And so we've got a hand here like that. Okay. Now he looks like he could be close to being done, maybe. But we've got a tiny bit more, a little bit more that we've got to work on. So we've got to put some feet on here too. So we're going to take our feet down. This is what makes him really unique and interesting. So we're going to take it down here like this. And we've got these giant toenails here, which makes it look like a bird. We got this giant toenail around here like this. Look at this. And so we have a giant toenail here. So he's got hands. That's what it looks like. It's hands on the knees right there. And then we're going to take this down and like that. And then we're going to take this over like this. So I've got a second one right here like this, like that. And then we've got another toenail that comes out like this. And so you can enhance You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to enhance a little bit. And I'm going to add another toenail that's not in my image, just like that. Because I want to add another toenail in there just like that. And give it a little bit more toenails. And so I can do the same thing if I want to add more to the hand, like that. Yeah, that works. We'll add another appendage. We got another appendage there on the knee. And so we've got our creature. So he looks completely funny there. So he's got hands on his knees right there. And there's a little drip coming down. A drip coming down the face like this. The face is dripping. And so I kind of want to add more around the eyeballs like this. And I want to darken up the eyeballs a little bit like this. Just so it stands out. We've got a little bit more drips and just a little bit for hair right here coming out the side. A little bit of hair. It's not a whole lot, just a tiny, tiny bit. There's no nose. You can add a nose if you want a nose, but I don't think I'm going to add a nose right here this time. I might try to darken this up just a tad bit more. Okay, so I kind of want to add a little bit more in here like this, just a tiny bit. Darken this part up. And so I am going to draw another drippy line here down from the face like that. So what do you think? What do you think about this particular image? So we've got a combination of hands that are knees. You know, a lot of times, sometimes when people bend over, they put their hands on their knees. So this is sort of like a little depiction of that creature. So, and then there's toes. So the legs are made, there's hands as knees. Okay, so we're working on this little creature, and he is in the category of a monster and funny at the same time too, like Mr. Big Homie said. That's a funny looking character you're drawing. Yes. Actually all of them are funny looking. If I look at it like that, I think all of them are funny looking, don't you? Oh, we need to add cartoons in here too. Let me add cartoons. So we got a good 3 of them out here in what, less than right at about 60 minutes. Let's do cartoon. A cartoon. And let's do, oh, I can't even spell it. Tooo. How about an N instead? A cartoon. But I want to add this into the Asaurus creatures. Cartoonasaurus, a Cartoonosaurus. So we've got a Cartoonosaurus here into our Asaurus creatures. An Esaurus and Asaurus. So we've got ESA, ESAURUS, the Asaurus creatures, and then ASA, both ASAURUS. Oh, this is funny. The Asaurus ESA. This one, I love this one. Oh my goodness. I wish I could tell you guys absolutely where I wish I could tell you more about this, but I can't right now. I will in the future probably. But right I wish I could tell you about. There's two reasons, not just one, but two. But we have the Esaurus, Esaurus. I think I'm going to go with this spelling over this one, but I might use both, just depending. But we're going to have the Esaurus, Esaurus. I like that. The Esaurus creatures. You know, I mean, that's funny. Oh my goodness. What an aha moment that I had today. It was kind of fun. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys the next time.